Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wheels from West to East, and in this video I am going to show you how to make one of the most traditional Bulgarian pastries, Banitsa. Before we continue, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the traditional Banitsa, what it is, and how we eat it in Bulgaria, and then we'll continue with the actual recipe. So Banitsa is a pastry roll, usually like this, which has a filling of cheese and eggs and yogurt. You'll see this in the recipe later on, but this is a traditional form. It looks like a spiral. It also exists in a more industrial form, which is flat and like lasagna a little bit if you like, but just a matter of visual aspect mostly. It doesn't change the taste. As I said, this is a very traditional food in Bulgaria. It's eaten in every day for no special occasion, but also it can have a special place on the table during the holidays, especially on New Year's Eve when we make the same recipe, but we also add small good luck charms inside the food, which is just a tradition that we have. It's usually eaten with a side dish of yogurt, and some people prefer to add sugar as well. It's a matter of taste. Personally, I prefer it as it is, but once again, you can experiment with it and have it as you like. Also, it can be eaten cold or hot for any time of the day. Really, it doesn't matter. It just depends if what you're used to and how much you want to eat. So that's it for the story part, and now we'll get to the cooking. Okay, so here's what you need to make Banitsa. First of all, some wet cheese or Feta. If you can find the same made of cow milk, it would be better. If not, you can use a normal Greek Feta. It's mostly the same cheese, just Greek made it from goat milk, and in Bulgaria we make it from cow milk. Oil, baking soda, flour, Bulgarian yogurt, or the closest that you can find as a substitute. I've made a separate video dedicated to Bulgarian yogurt. You can check it in the description, and I'll make a little annotation as well. Filo Sheets, and lastly eggs. Okay, so before starting, you should take your Filo Sheets out of the fridge in advance so that they can warm up. This way they won't break up all that much when you make the banitsa later on. So put them to the side and let them warm up a bit. So basically what we have to do now is mix all the ingredients. I'll start with the eggs. I'll add them into the yogurt. I'll also add the baking soda. And I'm gonna mix this well for now. We add the baking soda so that it can make a reaction with the acidity of the yogurt, and it will get some more volume in it. You want to obtain an equally liquid substance. Next, I'm going to add the cheese in. Now to do this, you must cut it on small pieces, so I'm just going to cut it like that. You can also do this by hand if you want, just a little bit messy, so do it like you prefer to. Put it on one side, then on the other. Little cubes is what you need. Don't make them too big, because Later on we'll be making rolls with the pastry, and if the cubes are too big, your rolls won't be easy to make tight. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to add it here. Mix it up a little bit. Make sure all the cheese is separated. And now I'm going to add the flour, which will just make it a little bit tighter. Alright, so this is what you're looking for in the end. If your filling is too liquid, you can always add some more flour to make it harder. You don't want it too liquid. It's got to be like that at best. So you can leave it to the side. Now I'm going to take one Filo sheet, and as you can see, they're very thin. So when making Banitsa, I use two of them at the same time to make one roll. I'll show you how. So take one sheet, and I take a little bit of oil, spread it around like that. It helps also keep it moist. Just don't put too much because it will be too greasy. It's more of a glue to glue the two sheets together, and also to make sure that Banitsa doesn't become too dry inside. Since it's cooked in the oven, it tends to dry up a bit. So spread a little bit of oil like that. Take your second sheet. Try to put it well on top of the first one. Like that. And both of them stick together. So this is ready. And now you take your filling. Make sure to take enough cheese with every spoon that you take. If your pieces are too big, you can always cut them up a little bit more. So you take your filling and you put it on one end in a line, like that. And try to make it even, so this way your rolls will be equal, and there will be enough cheese for everybody. So it's a bit tricky to actually put enough and not too much, but don't be surprised if you end up with a spare filling left. It happens to me all the time. So now you take one end, the closest end, and you start rolling it. When you do the first roll, you can pinch both ends like this, so that the filling doesn't drip, and then you continue to roll. You roll. Just gotta be careful not to break the sheets. So now I'm going to leave this, and I'm going to take a cooking pan that I've pre-buttered already. This is a standard small cooking pan. So now what I'm going to do is make a spiral with this. So you start from the center, put it like that. You have to be careful because it tends to break. And you make a spiral with it. Put it like that. It holds. And that's it. So then you repeat the same procedure until you run out of sheets. So my Banitsa is ready for the oven now. It should look like this. I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. This is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to put it in the oven and leave it there for about 30 minutes or until it's golden brown. Depending on your oven, this could take 20 or 30 or 40 minutes. So I'll see you when it's done. And we're back. The Banitsa is now ready. It took about 30-35 minutes to cook this time. So as I said, this can depend on your oven. So just a final touch: when it's done, you take it out, you spray it just a little bit with cold water, not put too much, just like that, and you cover it with some towel. You leave it like this for about 10 minutes for it to cool off, and this way it will be better to eat in the end. So that's it. See you next time.